And we are live. And we are live. Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully good. All right. Oh, excuse me. Present. Hey, Lindsay. Hey. How are you doing tonight, Lindsay, moderator Riley? Hopefully good. Hopefully good. I'm about to share the live out onto. I'm going to share the live out. So you guys have to give me a second, please. Excused. Happy to see you. Aw. Happy to see you as well. I'm still getting the content in order. Like, I did a little bit better this week, put out more shorts this week, so I'm happy about that. I'm still trying to get the content structured, because as of now, I'm doing like two live streams a week, 3 videos a week, 2 shorts a day. That's where I'm at now, or trying to get at least. So I've been hearing a lot about this FOIA. I actually found you're hitting the lake. Oh God. Wait a minute, Bubbles. Why are you hitting the lake? Please, no. But I've been hearing about this FOIA, and apparently there's a lot of interesting information in this FOIA about Gypsy Rose and Nick and their records. I actually found a website that has like the full records. It's very explicit, y'all. It's super explicit. I don't even think I could read it right here. Okay. I'm gonna go hit the lake. I'm like, is she about to go swimming in the lake? What's going on with Bubbles today? Hit the lake. The lake is crazy. The lake is crazy, right? um yeah, I'm trying to get my content schedule down. I feel like I'm doing good. But for the most part, it's a work in progress. It's almost been a year. In a month and 5 days it'll be a year on YouTube, and I say we're doing pretty damn good. Yeah, go hit the lake. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Just make sure you have your waterproof earbuds in, because I can't be responsible for what happens. Yeah, the lake, right? Um, I'm just posting it into my Discord for everybody to see. I'm gonna be reading some of the FOIA tonight, and then we're gonna go over, and then we're gonna go on. What? Okay. Lakes I've been in. I don't know. It's been a long time ago. Long time ago. Long time ago. Only bodies of water I get in are bathtubs and jacuzzis now. So, yeah, no lakes for me. We're going to go over the FOIA. We're going to talk about what we see. Apparently, there's a lot of crazy shit in the FOIA. It was retrieved by Into the Weeds. She's another content creator. And apparently, there's some shocking stuff. I looked over it. There's information about their Skype messages, their Facebook messages, their all kinds of things. Everything that they found on their computer, they give information about it in the FOIA. This nice person on Reddit took out and highlighted some of the most important parts. So I think that's really, really cool that they did that. So I don't have to like skim through the entire FOIA, because the parts that I was looking at on the FOIA, it was too explicit for YouTube. There was no way I was going to come on here and speak about that on YouTube. But y'all, I'm going to get you in the ocean? Hell no. I've been in the Gulf of Mexico. Does that count? I've been in there. The video quality is going to be getting way better, guys, because look who got a camera. Look at y'all. Look at y'all. I got a camera. I'm super excited. I met someone at the YouTube Creator Collective. He's a big YouTuber, and he gifted me with this camera. So the camera quality is about to get really good. I really appreciate it. His name is the PC guy. He's on YouTube as the PC guy. He gifted me this camera, and this is a huge, huge thank you from him. Yeah, Into the Weeds is the one who got the FOIA. So the camera quality is going to be looking a lot better because I got an actual camera. I was filming on a webcam, so I'm super excited about this. I wanted to share the camera with you guys. Super excited, y'all. You guys can see my sign back there. I'm going to organize it. When we go to the beach in Hawaii, we have to go in the water. Oh my goodness. I might like put a toe in the water, like a toe in the water, just because it's Hawaii. But other than that, hell no. All right. So you guys see my sign. I'm revamping things around this place. But let's get into what you guys are all here for, this FOIA, right? So as I was saying, Gypsy Rose and Into the Weeds filed for information from the police department regarding Gypsy Rose's crime, and a lot of interesting things are in that report. Okay, so I'm going to read it to you guys because I was reading it before I got on live, and I was like, some of this I can't even show online, because it's just that disturbing. I didn't expect it to look like this. You're going to get me to swim? We lived there many years and I so miss it. I'm just going to hula right now. Yeah. I've never been to Hawaii, but I plan on going soon. Let me send the live to Cajun. She always... All right, so we're going to get started, and I'm going to start reading this for you guys, and I'm going to analyze like I always do. Okay, so it starts here, and they say, let me zoom this in, because heck no. Oh, it doesn't zoom? That's sad. Okay. All right, so it says here, focus only on Gypsy and that Gypsy set out and was able to manipulate him. Instead, the jury never saw or heard this information. Further, counsel failed to cross-examine Costello regarding a Yahoo Messenger conversation he located during his forensic examination of Gypsy's phone with an individual she identifies as Danny, and additional messages from Gypsy to Nicholas in which she discusses a guy at a coffee shop to do things with him. We know about that. Counsel also failed to cross-examine Costello on the fact that during his forensic examination on Nicholas's HP Pavilion laptop, Costello learned that on June 11th, 2015, Nicholas visited papajohns.com at 5:20 p.m., then the store locator, then to dictionary.com to look up what the word sweet means. This information would have supported counsel's evidence and theory that Nicholas was not normal, but a person who negotiated life with a mental disease or defect of ASD Asperger's. Counsel was ineffective for failing to cross-examine Costello. Defense witness Gypsy Blanchard. Defense counsel disposed I'm sorry. Whoa. Defense counsel deposed co-defendant Gypsy Blanchard on November 1st, 2018, just before trial, and called her as a defense witness to testify that she planned this. However, counsel was otherwise wholly ineffective in eliciting through Gypsy other readily available and admissible evidence to support their theory of defense and counter the state's theory of defense. Over the course of their almost 3-year relationship, Gypsy sent Nicholas close to 100 videos, which the state provided to trial counsel in discovery. On cross-examination, the state asked if Nicholas introduced her to the idea of role play with alter egos, and Gypsy replied yes. So, yeah, this is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. In the original FOIA, they kind of talk about each video. It's crazy. They talk about each individual video. It's just, and they go into detail, deep, dark detail. Honestly, when we talk about the whole role playing thing, I don't know if that was, I don't think that was all Nick, honestly. I really don't. I don't think that was all Nick. The role playing. That was a shared effort. And in there, they also say she sent Nick over 100 videos. You're not sending 100 videos if you're not getting something out of it, right? You're not sending 100 videos for your health and strength. You're just simply not going to do that. So the fact that her defense tried to say that it was all Nick is a huge red flag. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. All right. Sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to create a thumbnail on the fly. I'm going to continue reading for y'all. Right. This is this. All right. Whoever got that FOIA into the weeds, she did some good work. She did some good work, because this helps to fill in a lot of those gray areas that people had. It really does. All right. I'm about to. Oh, Morbid's looking at the FOIA. Morbid's looking at the FOIA as well. These documents they definitely caught me by freaking surprise. I'll tell you that much. Hang on 1 second, guys. It's nothing cool about them. I want to put up my, I want to put up a thumbnail so you guys don't just have to see my mug. All right. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Let me put it on a playlist. Okay. I think it's done. Hold on. I'm going to put it on her playlist too. Okay. Okay. So let's continue. All right. I had to update the thumbnail. If you ever do YouTube, the most important things is not the video, right? It's the thumbnail and the title. It's the thumbnail and the title. Remember that, okay? All right. So Gypsy further testified that as part of the role play, Nick was the master and she the slave. The state went on to suggest through their cross-examination that on a lot of those videos, Nicholas would send her a script and instruct her what to do in the videos. Gypsy claimed to do things in the videos she didn't always want to do, but did them because Nicholas told her to do them. She further admitted in engaging in SA fantasies with Nicholas, but claimed to not be crazy about the idea and that she was simply indulging him. Though counsel had available videos which suggested otherwise, counsel failed to establish that this testimony was false. Only a very small portion of the videos appear to be scripted by Nicholas. The grand majority are of Gypsy's own creation. Some of the explicit videos are formatted to look like a real movie with credits at the end. There are many in which she um, does things with herself where she appears to very much be enjoying herself and not engaging in activity simply to indulge Nicholas. There are also videos in which she is the dominant character who talks about ways she will do SA Nicholas. On a 13-minute video dated September 27th, 2013, Gypsy is playing in her Demona persona. She explains that she is a loose woman with an evil streak. She can torture, she can do anything except a few things. She can't physically harm Gypsy's mother or Nick because those two people are off limits. Besides the two things she can't do, she describes what she can do. She can steal, she can torture, she can unalive, she likes to drink and be naughty. She talks at great length about how skilled she is at stealing from stores. She goes on to say she overwhelms Nick sometimes and can SA him by force. She talks in detail about the ways she can do that by tying him to a chair or bed. She explains that she will be able to get money in the future by going to a bar and agreeing to do things with a man for money, but instead she would hit him over the head with a bottle and steal his wallet. She advised Nicholas that they have to play it smart and be very careful what they do as a team because it takes skill to not get caught. She closes by saying they will be very, very good at being bad together. Another 10-minute video dated May 26, 2014, contains two videos. In the second video, she appears as Demona, wearing a long red wig and lingerie. She tells Nicholas that things have changed. She is his dominant and he is her. You see what that word says. She says she doesn't enjoy punishing him, but it has to be done. She describes how she will reward him, but if he displeases her, she has ways of punishing him. If he fails to do as she asks, she will take away his time with Gypsy. She threatens to punish him by refusing to allow Gypsy to talk to him for a week. She will command him to perform acts on her, and he'll have to do it or she will be displeased. She praises him for being a good you know what so far and continues to encourage him to do a good job. In yet another video dated May 27, 2013, there is no indication of any script. Gypsy is wearing a long blonde wig and uses okay, we cannot read that. Okay. In another video compilation that runs over 19 minutes and is dated January 24th, 2014, she tells Nicholas that she dreams about him, and though other men hit her, she only wants him. She explains that he is perfect to her, and when Nicholas looks at her, it's like she sees every thought in her head and sees her emotions. They are soulmates and perfect for each other. Okay. In an 8-minute video dated August 11th, 2014, Demona addresses Nicholas as her and informs him there are new rules and that her punishment of him will be extreme. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Trial counsel had available through discovery Facebook messages between Gypsy and Nicholas from Gypsy's Demona Love account. In these messages on December 26, 2014, Gypsy roleplays as Demona and orders Nicholas's character Victor to get rid of his Facebook account for her right now. She tells him someone messaged Gypsy's mom about his FB account and the walls are closing in. On direct examination, counsel asked Gypsy how many boyfriends she had prior to Nicholas, and Gypsy replied none, sorry. Had counsel investigated information readily available to them, counsel would have known that was not true. In addition to evidence to the contrary available through witness Dan Glidwell, below, Gypsy wrote on August 10, 2014 through her Demona Love account as follows. Whoa! Whoa! It's super explicit, right? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is so explicit. Oh my god. I'll have to take this video down after this because I didn't know it was this bad. So I feel like the main point they're trying to make is that, like I said, like we like I like I said, and like we assumed, this was a joint effort, and they go into a lot of detail here. I didn't need to know this. I didn't need to know this. I didn't need to know this. All you had to say was it was encouraged on both sides. You didn't have to get down to the nitty gritty. Okay. So she was talking to, I don't even know if I can continue reading. Okay. She was talking to Dan and she said, "Yes, my master. It was 2010 and 2011. What? I had just surfaced inside Gypsy when I started playing games with guys. I used Gypsy's fingers to make the text and take the pics. The men asked me to send them news, so I took my top off in the pic and sent it. I had fun teasing them, saying I do things with them, but I never went through with it. My words, only text and pics. 4 guys, but Gypsy's mom found out and threatened the men that if they ever come close to me again, she put them in jail because Gypsy was underage and they were like 35 to 50. I was stupid testing my limits and I was getting male attention like I wanted. I told you I was untamed before I met you. You tamed me and I've been loyal to you ever since. In addition, the state adduced evidence that Nicholas threatened to do some to unalive himself on June 2nd, 2015, close to the time of the offense. Trial counsel failed to present evidence that Gypsy made threats to do it to herself as well. That this would have suggested to the jury that Nicholas was not the manipulator, as the state argued he was, but the manipulated who mimicked what he learned from Gypsy online. Instead, the jury never heard or saw this information. In her testimony, it wasn't until she was 19 years old that she started to piece together that she was not actually sick. She further testified that she did not understand the extent of how healthy she was until after her arrest. Counsel failed to elicit evidence readily available that was contrary to this assertion, and that would further defense counsel's theory of the case that Nicholas was particularly vulnerable to her manipulation because of his ASD. Specifically, evidence was available to counsel that when Gypsy left Missouri for Wisconsin, she only took pain medication with her and no prescriptions. Further, in a video dated May 26, 2014, Gypsy shows Nicholas how she can stand and walk. She explains that when she was 6 years old, she went into the hospital and that during surgery, the doctor said she had a seizure and was paralyzed. They didn't know if it was only temporary. She started getting feeling and tingling in her legs. She was young and kept it to herself. She kept it from her mom because she was afraid that her mom would stop loving her. So she kept it to herself until 2011 when she rebelled and ran away from home. She said explaining to their friends that she could walk would be too hard. She said she would like for people to know the truth and she would lose a lot of friends. Whoa, that's huge. So apparently, wow, that's big, y'all. Yeah, Bubbles she's going skinny dipping in the moonlight in the lake. Yeah. Hey, Cherokee, by the way. Hey, Bubbles. Hey, Lindsay. If you're in the chat, say hey. I want to say hey back. That's something new. I didn't know that. So there was a video that they had where she was telling Nick she had a seizure and was paralyzed, and she started getting feelings in her legs shortly after. She kept it to herself and from her mom. But the narrative that's being pushed in the mainstream media is that her mom forced her to act like this. The narrative pushed in the mainstream media was her mom forced her to act like this. And Hurricane Katrina happened in 2009. When did they get that house? She wanted people to know the truth, but she felt like she would lose a lot of friends. So was she lying to Nicholas, or is she lying to us now? Further, counsel failed to establish that Gypsy suggested Nicholas did not need to wear gloves. It may suggest that she wanted him to leave prints. When first confronted by law enforcement, she feigned a complete lack of knowledge and stated that she would slap her boyfriend if he did something stupid. She tells officer her birthday is 1995 to make herself younger when it is in fact 1991. She suggests she could call her mother for a list of her medications and tells the detective that her mother told her there was something dangerous about Nicholas and compared him to Jeffrey Dahmer. All suggestive of the fact that Gypsy planned to try to frame and implicate Nicholas and exonerate herself. Trial counsel was ineffective for unreasonably and prejudicially failing to investigate and present this evidence through Gypsy to support their theory and contradict the state's theory of their case. Whoa, y'all, that's just part of it, right? That's just part of this. And that was a lot, right? I don't need details about the actual stuff, but that was part of it. And people have been posting this on Reddit. They've been posting it. Let's see here. Sure. So they're also saying that the failure to call and investigate Dan as a witness was prejudice to Godejohn. Unfreaking believable. This is a FOIA. I'll tell you more about it. Hang on. What the hell is this? What is that? The fuck? Okay. Come on. Yeah, it's bad. Hold on. There's actually an entire page dedicated to these records, and I'll explain to you. Um, it's 127 pages. 127 pages. The FOIA is the Freedom of Information Act. It's 127 some odd pages. But it also shows that Gypsy did play some of that dominant role. It wasn't just all Nick, which we kind of knew that, you know? We knew that. I can't find the page where it is. So apparently Nina and Ivory were going live about this. And this is what Gypsy said. I don't know if it's true, but this is what she said. We all know the case was a fucked up situation. I will never deny that. But haven't you heard that is so 10 plus years ago? People grow, people change, and learn from their bad choices. I did my time. Unbelievable, huh? Let me see. I have the page on here. I most definitely have the page here. It's on my Safari. Somebody made an awesome web page. I want to read the intro to that as well. It's on my Safari. I think it's under FOIA. FOIA Gypsy Rose. Yeah, it's under FOIA. I'll put the link in the chat. Nope, wrong subreddit. Wrong subreddit. Hold on. Let's see. Here it is. This one right here. It's in the Gypsy Rose. Here it is right here. I'll put it in the description so you guys can read it for yourself. It's absolutely crazy. Let's see here. Hey, Jen. Here's the link. I put it in the description. All right. So let me find it here. It's going to be underneath Into the Weeds podcast FOIA request. So I'll read this part here. So if you guys don't really know what it is. Okay. Into the Weeds podcast is a podcast presented by a mother and daughter duo, Amber and Alora, who investigate a range of topics, including true crime. On January 20th, 2025, Amber and Laura shared information they obtained following a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act request, which resulted in them obtaining information about a series of videos Nick sent to Gypsy, as well as Nick's internet search history. This information was contained within a case file presented in a supplemental police report authored by Stan Hancock, dated 29th November 2017. Thank you very much for sharing the information. It does not offer all dates from when the videos were made or for when the internet searches were performed. There are 2 case files associated with the case. Parts of case file 1 are publicly available. No parts of the second case file have been released. They also obtain records of his appeal records. All right. So that's where it came from. Somebody requested this information. Taking Sweet Pea. Who's Sweet Pea? Oh, is that your Porky Pony? Is that your Petey Porky Pony? Oh. So we all know what an FOIA is, guys, now? I didn't know what it was either. I just heard FOIA way too many times on social media this week, and I said, I got to figure out what the hell's going on. So they include pictures in here. I don't know if I can read most of what this said because I went over a lot of the FOIA, but I'll try to explain. Here's a photo. Nicholas Bella Rose is with Nicholas. So this is photos of them back then. Let me see. I got to open this and see. 3:24 p.m. Okay. Glidewell, however you say this last name here, kept in contact with Gypsy via video chat. He says Gypsy told him her mother made her stay in a wheelchair and had unnecessary medical treatment. He says that their relationship developed from friendship to sexual. They would send explicit videos to each other. He discusses how they role played occasionally. He referred to Gypsy as being shy and timid. He says he developed a taste for power, exchange role playing from her. He says she would send him photos, dress up, and use various fictitious names. Glidewell says he was injured and that Gypsy visited him while he was in the hospital. She told him she wanted to go to Arkansas to restart her life. So is this Dan here? Is this Dan? Oh, your husband bought you Chick-fil-A? That's nice. I think this is Dan. I'm not sure. Y'all, I'm not sure. What is this? So it looks like people on Facebook talking and somebody saying something about fetlife.com. I don't even want to know what that is. I have a hunch. And then somebody tagging Gypsy. I have no idea. Fetlife.com. The hell? Not going on there. On no. Let me see what this says here. Oh, nope. Get me out of there. It's crazy because you don't know what you're gonna see in those pictures. Okay. The video transcripts revealed that Nick wanted three things from Gypsy: sex, affection, and her staying true to him. Okay. These are all pieces of it, but I'm afraid to open them, y'all. I'm not gonna even lie. There was like hundreds of videos sent between the two of them. And for the most part, I think the point we're trying to be made is that it wasn't all Nick that was on this um power trip. She was also on the power trip as well. Okay, Cherokee. All right. Oh, that's Dan? Oh my goodness. Yeah. This honestly, I thought it would be easy enough to read online. It's not even easy enough to read online. Just because of how vulgar it is. It's vulgar is as vulgar can be. And I don't want to risk anything. So, I did put the link down there. You guys can investigate more. But I feel like the thing that I found most interesting, right? Let's start there. The thing that I found most interesting, she told Nick that her mom didn't know she could walk because she didn't want to let her mom down. But she tells everybody that her mom knew she could walk from the beginning of time. So, which one is it? That kind of pisses me off a little bit because I didn't know that. And apparently, there were other things found in those FOIA records. Just shocking. Just shocking. But I don't want to. There's way too much explicit stuff in that. Okay. Let's see if we can gain any insight from the TikTok.
Dated May 26th, 2014.
Hold on. Hold on, honey bear. Hold on.
In a video dated May 26th.
I can't hear anything. Okay.
2014. Gypsy showed Nicholas how she could stand and walk. In that video, Gypsy explains that when she was 6 years old, she went into the hospital, and during surgery, the doctor stated that she had a seizure and was paralyzed. The doctors didn't know if it was only temporary. At some point, she started getting feeling and tingling back in her legs. Gypsy was young and decided to keep it to herself. Gypsy kept it from her mom because she was afraid that her mom would stop loving her. So she kept it to herself until 2011, when she rebelled and ran away from home. Gypsy said that explaining it to her friends that she could walk would be way too hard. Gypsy said she would like for people to know the truth, but felt that she would lose a lot of friends if she told them. I don't know about you all, but this tells me that what I thought from the very beginning was absolutely true. It was Gypsy giving her symptoms. It was Gypsy telling both her mother and those doctors, in my opinion, what was wrong with her, that she couldn't walk, that she had all of this, all for the attention. Are y'all seeing it? Those were Gypsy's own words. So make it make sense. It had to have been Gypsy that was relaying her symptoms to Dee Dee, who then relayed it to the doctors. All of the lies, all of the symptoms came from Gypsy, in my opinion. Leave a comment and let me know what y'all think.
Okay, so when was the Habitat and Humanity House video, the interview, when they sat down? When was that? Because she's saying 2011. She kept it from her mom.
This is the last video footage that was taken of Gypsy Rose.
In a video dated May 26th.
That's the exact same thing that I was calling out, because if you're telling Nick your mom doesn't know until 2011, when was this video? When did you get the house? I know Katrina happened in 2009. So what?
Being brought out. Actually, she has really good content, guys. So if you're not following her, I think it's iHeartTruth. So go give her a follow, because the information she puts out is right on point. But I made a comment when she said that, and I want to put out here that it's all of us putting out this information. You know what I mean? The more we share these lives, the more we make the videos, the more we share the videos. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a group effort for this entire niche, and everyone is on point, keeping it alive and well and pushing it out there. And so, we all appreciate it. And I just wanted to put that out there, an acknowledgement that it's everybody, it's all of you guys. And so, way to go. And, everybody's seeing it. You guys are putting it out, we're putting it out. All of us are putting it out. The information's getting out there. So I just wanted to say good job, guys. That's it. That and
Okay, I was just trying to see. She's online right now.
All right, guys, don't mind. In a video dated May 20.
Let's see here.
Okay, everybody watching this, he acknowledges he was a jerk that night. We're moving on from it.
Right. That was the past.
That was the past. We're watching the past unfold.
What?
I want to get right into it, so we'll just go with it. Do you believe Gypsy Rose should be serving a 10-year sentence for second-degree murder?
No, I do not think she should be serving a 10-year sentence, and I'll tell you why. In my mind, Gypsy Rose Blanchard is the victim in this case. Gypsy Rose Blanchard was victimized by her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard, since she was a child. Dee Dee Blanchard, I believe, suffered from Munchausen by proxy and therefore would subject her tiny daughter. This started when Gypsy Rose was just about 3 months old, to all sorts of medical treatments, in effect, abusing her. After a lifetime of abuse, I think any jury in their right mind would have acquitted her.
Now, touching on the syndrome that Munchausen by proxy, can you?
Okay, everybody watch.
There is shock.
What the hell?
Gypsy Rose, the reason people think that you are not going to be a good mom does not have to do with what your mom did to you as a child. It has to do with what you did to your mother as an adult. Be for real. Gypsy Rose, the reason people think that you are not going to be a good mom does not have to do with what your mom did to you as a child. It has to do with what you did to your mother as an adult. Be
Nicholas Godejohn has now filed for habeas corpus saying if Gypsy Rose Blanchard is free, I should be too, unlike Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Oh,
All of you Gypsy Rose Blanchard stands.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard would have us believe that dentists pulled her teeth out for no reason. She claims that she went to the dentist and her mother told them that she had pain in her teeth and they just pulled them out. Let's take a look at some of these pictures of Gypsy's teeth. In the most recent episode of Life After Lockup on Lifetime, you can see Gypsy with a baby bottle, and every parent knows that children who drink from a bottle past time when they're supposed to know that it impacts their mouth and how their teeth are growing. They also know that when you leave a baby to drink a bottle in their bed like overnight, that milk gets on their teeth and causes what is known as bottle rot. It actually takes off the enamel and causes the teeth to rot.
Oh, that sounds
here
painful.
You can see Gypsy holding her little bottle. I'm no expert on age, but I'm going to go with a conservative number and say that she looks like she's about 8 years old right here. 8 years old, still drinking out of a bottle. Yeah, that's going to cause some teeth issues. Here's another one of the inside of her mouth, and you can clearly see that the top two teeth are rotting. It's literally rotting in her gums. And I'm sure that's the reason why the dentist had to pull those out. You can even look at some of the back ones and see that they're rotten. That's what all that black stuff is. It's rotten. And even from this angle, you can see that even the front of them look a little bit decayed. I'm mind-boggled that people actually believe that her mother would take her into the dentist and just complain that she was having some sort of mouth pain, and the dentist would just be like, okay, I take your word for it. Let's go ahead and get all those teeth on out of there. No, that's not going to happen. She actually needed to have them pulled. You can see from the shape and the way that they were growing in that she was clearly causing her teeth to be deformed from the continued bottle sucking. And I don't know, you can tell me how old you think she looks in that picture, but I'm going to go with 8. And an 8-year-old child still drinking a bottle, yeah, it's going to cause some issues. So stop believing everything that this pathological, narcissistic liar tells you and actually do some research into what it is that she's saying, because every claim that she has made against her mother has been proven to be inaccurate. And it's also been proven that instead of using her electric toothbrush to actually take care of her oral hygiene, she was using it to pleasure herself. Yeah, so at least we know that the electric toothbrush did actually get some use. However, she wasn't using it for its intended use, which is why she has bad teeth. Gypsy Rose.
Yeah, in my video, I talked about that. I was like, that kind of pisses me off that she says that. Well, they got Ken to say it. Ken said that because of the abuse, she had to have her teeth pulled. Because of the abuse by her mother, she had to have her teeth pulled. But if we look into the book, she says that her mother didn't wean her off the bottle until she was 23 or 24. So the bottle rot could be that's a viable answer for that. But for him to just get upset up there on TV and make a bold ass claim that the reason why she had to have her teeth pulled and redone was because of the abuse from her mother, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. If she could walk, she could move her hands, she could take care of her teeth. So it's just something to, like I said, make her look less of like the bad guy. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it.
This is straight from Gypsy Rose Blanchard's verified account. Says left Ryan March 23rd, had a period April 17th, made love with Ken and only him April 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th. Okay, bragger. Conceived on May 4th. Too much information. And a positive test on May 24th. Ken is the father. Ma'am, this is a Chipotle.
I don't know why everyone is so involved in my life. By the way, Twitter, I was a cum dump April 18th, 19th, got cum dumped again in the front and the back. On the 20th, the 21st, he came on my tits. On the 22nd,
28, 29, 30. Okay, bragger. Conceived on May 4th. April 17th.
I have to replay this. It's
This is
funny.
straight from Gypsy Rose Blanchard's verified account. Says
It's
left
funny.
Ryan March 23rd, had a period April 17th, made love with Ken and only him April 27th, 28th, 29th, 30. Okay, bragger. Conceived on May 4th. Too much information. And a positive test on May 24th. Ken is the father. Ma'am, this is a Chipotle.
I don't know why everyone is so involved in my life. By the way, Twitter, I was a cum dump April 18th, 19th, got cum dumped again in the front and the back. On the 20th, the 21st, he came on my tits. On the 22nd, we didn't come at all. It was a long, stressful day. Babe, some things we don't need to know. Gypsy, where were you January 6th? I was doing anal. Okay?
This is straight from Gypsy Rose.
Oh, that's funny.
Story of Gypsy Rose.
Woo!
Ooh. Nicholas Godejohn is
Hey,
in the
Gladys,
fucking
how are
Gypsy
you?
Did it all. Get your headlamp. Honestly, y'all, I stay getting the cool shit. Focus, Amber. How the hell you work this? Where's the button? Where the hell's the button so I can show the friend? Headlight.
That's pretty
like
cool.
pretty wicked, man.
That is
That's a
cool.
whole ass headlight. That's some good shit. I'm gonna go do something outside and
Nobody in Louisiana calls you bad.
I know.
You want to go do something else. You don't have to endure this with me. I can handle all this.
Well, I do want to go check out that baby boutique again, so I can take a second look around.
Well, what do you want to get? It's not a crib, is it?
I am.
It looks like Gypsy.
Hold on.
Nobody in Louisiana calls you bad.
I
You
know.
want to go do something else. You don't have to endure this with me. I can handle all this.
Well, I do want to go check out that baby boutique again, so I can take a second look around.
Well, what do you want to get? It's not a crib, is it?
I am a prep person. I prep. And this thing, not having anything bought for the nursery as far as furniture is stressing me out. I know.
You're gonna go in there and spend like $2,000 on a crib that we just.
No, I'm not gonna spend $2,000 on a crib.
The baby's not even going to sleep in the crib the first few months that she's born. By the time she's off parole, you don't have to worry about exactly.
Wait, by the time she's off parole?
I'm sorry, by the time you're off parole, why don't we move into the house first? Then we can focus on the nursery. We have everything but the crib.
We don't have nothing.
We have everything.
It looks like Gypsy.
Coffee chat time, and today's subject.
Thank you.
See, I didn't watch the motherfucking show. I'm only catching clips on TikTok. He say thank you to her for turning off the motherfucking stove. She don't even know when something is finished on the stove and turn off the stove. But y'all gonna
Gypsy. Hi, everybody. Prison Princess here. So the FOIA.
Yeah, it's always going to be like this with Gypsy. It just is. As long as she gives content to report on, especially with the FOIA just coming out, there's nothing good in that FOIA. There's nothing good in that FOIA. There's nothing redeeming in that FOIA. It took, all I needed to read was her saying in a video to Nick that she was hiding it from her mother. That's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear. The FOIA is crazy, and it doesn't surprise me. That's the crazy part. It doesn't surprise me what happened in the paperwork. Hey, random, how are you? Yeah, it's too much. It's too damn much. Like, it is. It's way too much. It doesn't surprise me. But I am glad that that information was obtained, because now that that information has been obtained, people can fill in some of those gray areas. You know, when was the Habitat and Humanity House interview? When was that interview? That's what I need to know, because if she's in a video telling Nick in 2011, that's when her mom found out she could walk. Don't you think her mom don't you think her mom would be a little freaked out if that's the case? If according to Gypsy, listen, just listen to me for a second. If according to Gypsy, her mother found out that she could walk when she snuck out of the house, don't you think she would be a little creeped out? Imagine you knowing someone your entire life, you think they're paralyzed, and one day they're just not in the house and they're walking about. I'm gonna be concerned as hell too. Like, what the hell? You can walk? You need to get back here. What the fuck are you doing? You know, like, I understand the concern. If you're just finding out that someone who you thought could not walk could walk, you're gonna raise concern about that. I don't care who you are. Like, what are you doing? How did this happen? You know? But there's been like a lot of misconceptions. There's been a lot of crazy ass stories surrounding Gypsy Rose, and I you know, none of it surprises me. Reading through that FOIA, I read through more of it before I got on live. Most of it's not appropriate for the internet. It's not appropriate for anything. I wish I would have never read it. Honestly, it's bad. It's bad. The things, how they get really, really, really specific in that. They get super specific in that. R4 says, yes, girl, yes. I don't know why we're stuck here. I don't know. It seems like people are trying to find more information out about her case. And that's what's dragging it along with her little publicity stunts. That's what's dragging it along. The fact that people want real answers, and she's doing outlandish shit in the media. That's going to drag it on. The interview was in 2008. If the interview was in 2008 and she didn't tell her mom she could walk until 2011, then in that interview, you know how they portrayed that interview on The Act as if Dee Dee was squeezing her hand to try to control her, as if Dee Dee was squeezing her hand. You know, if that interview was in 2008 and she was telling Nick that her mom didn't know if she could walk because her mom wouldn't love her anymore, then what the fuck is true? Was she telling Nick the truth? Or is she telling us the truth? She made it seem like as soon as she came out of the womb, her mother put on her that she couldn't walk. And when we know about the condition she has, the microdeletion, we know about the microdeletion that she has. That can cause people to have seizures. That can cause people to have feeding issues. That can cause all of these things. So what stops us from believing that Dee Dee was just a concerned mother? Because the narrative was her mom made her use a wheelchair. That was the narrative from day one. From day one. In seeing that Habitat from Humanity video, the narrative was her mom made her use this. So if she's in a video telling Nicholas, my mom didn't know until a couple years ago. So what is it? What is it? Yeah. Random says that everyone's trying to prove to everyone what we know to be true. People won't stop until she's fully exposed. Yeah. We all, we already knew. It doesn't surprise me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't surprise me that we don't know all there is to know about her past. Hi, Into the Weeds. Hope you feel better. Migraines suck. We were just reading the FOIA request that you had gotten. It's too spicy for YouTube. I'm telling them it's too spicy. I was trying to read some of it and I had to stop. What on earth is wrong with people? Like, what the fuck? Like, my mind is spinning. But the thing I took away from that is, if your interview was in 2008, it couldn't have been in 2008 though. It couldn't have been in 2008. Wait a minute. Hang on, Kimberly. Yes, it could have been. Oh my God, I thought Katrina was in 09. Katrina was in 05. Katrina was in 05. The interview was in 08. She tells Nick in like 2013 that her mom didn't know until 2011. So they got the house when her mom was under the presumption that she was handicapped. Her mom was under the presumption she couldn't walk, and they got the house. Because the motive from the beginning has been her mom made her use a wheelchair. That's the first thing people start with. And made her use a feeding tube. That doesn't even sound believable. It doesn't. How does one just get their child a feeding tube? I don't, like, what? That's what stuck out to me the most. They talked a lot about raunchy stuff and things that, all of that. And another thing that stuck out to me from reading the little bit that I did read is that it wasn't all Nick behind the role play. It wasn't. Random says people feel the need to clear their names at this point. All the ones she called a liar and made look crazy. Like Ivory Rose grows wild and I would feel the same way. And yet a jury bought it all. A jury bought it all. Honestly. A jury bought it all. I feel like if Gypsy Rose would have taken her case to trial, she would still be in jail. I really do. If she would have taken her case to trial, she would have been in jail still. Honestly. They rushed it. They rushed it. She took the plea deal and they rushed it. Let the prosecution would have dug through some of this stuff that we're reading today. It wouldn't seem so open and shut. Like Nick came into your life, put all this demonic stuff in your mind, and that made you want to do this to you. No, that's not the case. That's not the case, especially when you're explicitly telling him she thought you had issues. She thought you had ailments, at least until 2011. Right? No doctor would insert a feeding tube without evidence of needing one, just like no dentist would snatch out someone's teeth because a parent told them to. You're correct. Yeah. Honestly, you can't just get a surgery. You can't just go in there and be like, hey, I want to remove my ear. Let's just put it that way. I want to remove my ear. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Even women with fibroids or issues like that, they can't just go in there and say, give me a hysterectomy. You have to qualify. I hate to say it like that, but you have to qualify, right? Unless she just had some back alley shady doc. No, these were accredited doctors at accredited universities. She would have been crazy not to. Who we should be mad at is those who offered the deal up. I have no idea what it was. It like, I don't know, something about a crooked DA or something. She didn't really have all that many surgeries. Seems like the ones she had were necessary. Yeah. And you can say that to anyone who's ever had surgery, right? If you've had a surgery, a major surgery, you can't convince the doctor that you need one. You can't convince the doctor that you need one. They went to school. And even if her mother convinced the doctor that something was wrong, you really truthfully think that Dee Dee wanted to see Gypsy go under the knife? You literally think and believe in your heart that Dee Dee wanted them to cut her vocal cords or cut her throat, as she says in the book. Case shut, case open, and case closed. Case open and case closed. Yeah, I don't really have much of an expectation. When things come out, I report on them, like the show, I'm reporting on it. These FOIA records, it'll be kind of hard to report on them on YouTube because the nature of them is bad. You know, your video is going to get flagged. You know, when you've had surgery as a kid, if you had surgery as an adult, if your parent comes with you, they don't want you to have surgery. They don't want you going under. They don't want to see their child in pain. I just don't understand that. Could she have wanted it? Could she have been, in a way, wanting to have pity and this and that? Sure. But deep down, I think she loved her daughter. Deep down, I think she loved her daughter. Really, truthfully. And Gypsy knows that. Gypsy knows that. If she didn't love her, she wouldn't have thought about her when her daughter was born. If her mother didn't love her, she wouldn't have given her a second thought when her daughter was born. She would have been like, oh, thank goodness that my daughter doesn't have. No, it was nothing like that. I'm not angry about it. I'm just getting annoyed by people not standing on business. They're over there gaslighting us so they can buddy up to Gypsy. It's just weird. Whew. I'm not even watching the show. I saw part of the first one. I'm just tired of it. I want her to move on and live her life and get off my TV. It's scary to have your child in surgery. Yeah. Think about that. You have to sit there and panic until you know that they're safe. What? No, that didn't make sense. Right? But it shows you how the media and social media can twist a narrative. They can make you believe anything. Because we don't read. We just take things at first glance. That's why we are in the situation we're in this country. That's why we have the president we do. Because people don't read. They just see something on social media and go, oh! I'm guilty of it too. Not reading. Not doing the work. Random says, I haven't watched a single minute of that show. I'm not contributing to the monetization of Beep. Wow. I understand. I most definitely understand people's choices for not watching it. I really do. Um, I feel like I've gotten a good bit of subscribers off of her story. But they want to talk more about the details behind the case. I recapped the first 2 episodes. Not much happened, but it doesn't seem as if people want to see a recap of the show. People want to kind of more see the documents and the autopsy report, the text messages, and people want to see the evidence behind the case. So, I try to find different topics and I dabble around here and there in different topics. But I think you guys will like the new videos that are coming as well. I'm doing her show, recapping it for that small niche of people that I have that I know will watch it. But I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It's weird, right? My show it's not giving me drama. Like reality TV is supposed to be drama. Like throw the drama in. That's what I'm waiting on. Some good drama moments. But I have some good stuff coming as well. I'm going to start a new playlist behind the cult. We're going to be talking about specific cult in general, right? The issue is for me is how do you, and this isn't a question for the live, I'm just saying this is a question for me. How do you successfully pivot when you have a niche of people, right? If you want to see my take on the show, it's on my channel, last 2 episodes. How do you pivot when you have a part of your niche that's so obsessed? I hate to say it because that's the word she uses, right? They're so stuck on her content-centric content, right? But for me, Gypsy Rose was something that was passing through. I was doing the A to Z scandal series. Lindsay said cover Gypsy for G, and I did, and I got some good feedback on my videos. So the biggest question for me is finding out what you guys are also interested in outside of Gypsy Rose by seeing your reaction to Gypsy Rose. I found out a good amount. I found it's very hard to pivot. It's hard to pivot. But I found out that women that are criminals does well with this niche. I'm going to say it again into the weeds. I found out that women that are criminals does well with this subset of viewers. Okay? Take that as you will, right? So Ruby Frankie, right? Who else is a criminal that's a woman? Women that are criminals does really well in this niche. Okay? Cults, things like that. I promise the second best video or series of videos I've had has been on Ruby Frankie. So it seems as if our niche, it's a mainly female niche, is obsessed with the female criminal mind. I'll just put it that way. That's what it seems like, and that's what I've been kind of leaning into. But murder is a lifelong punishment. Yes, it is a lifelong punishment. And I do think Gypsy is punished still now that she's out of jail, right? She had to deal with the hard time in the penitentiary jail, a physical jail, a physical place where she was held. Now she's in an even more mentally treacherous jail. An even more mentally treacherous jail, because the people inside of the jail, they learned to love her, learned to accept her. They were all flocking together. But now she has to come out and reinvent herself in a world where 50% of the people do not like her. So that's lifelong, you know? That's lifelong. If she takes to the internet like she did, she didn't go in hiding like Casey Anthony did. She took to the internet. Well, you're going to get backlash every single day of your life just because of the crimes you committed. You didn't go, I don't know, to another country and hide. You came out on Front Street with a big smile and a big grin, claiming to be the victim. There's going to be pushback for that. Huge pushback. Didn't even like her in prison. So it's just, she can't even, she has issues. She's going to have issues for a while. Let's just leave it like that. More than the normal person would have just because of what she did. So do I think it's easy like Sunday morning for her? No, absolutely not. And they're on her neck. They're on her neck. I talk about Gypsy Rose. I try to stay moderate, center, left, as some might call it. But some people are on her neck. And that's because she came out talking about the D is fired, doing too much, and not humble. And moreover, just not taking accountability. You still, to this day, have not taken full accountability for this stuff. You still, to this day, will not talk to your mother's family because of this stuff. And she knows that. And I'm glad she has all those eyes on her, because there has to be some serious mental illness to do what she has done. She's dangerous. And the thing about it is, I've been saying that since the beginning of time, Random. I've been saying since the beginning of time, Gypsy and Nick needed evaluations. Young. And she says that she didn't have any therapy in prison. I'm like, what the fuck? How could you not? What prison does not? Just messed up, right? But we see her go to therapy on this season of Life After Lockup. And it's for Ken. It's for Ken. It's to communicate with him. And I'm like, no. Just no. Right? And the fact of the matter is, guys, everybody's not on this side with us. Everybody's not. There are more people than you think that support her and believe the motive and the agenda that she's given. There's tons of them. I would say it's probably about, with Gypsy Rose, it might be 50-50. I'm not sure. I might have to do a poll. I'll do a poll. But I can't poll my audience. I have to poll like some random people out, polling them. People support her. And there have been a lot of people that have been awakened after doing their research, right? So I honestly, I could talk about her for hours and hours, but you're still going to get the same results. Her and Nicholas, she and Nicholas are two parts of the same whole. You couldn't have had this event occur without either one of them. They are guilty. Guilty. Just as guilty. Right? She needed him. He needed her in different ways. Right? So, hey, Jay. They're gullible as hell. That and her stance are super young with no life experience. Okay, yeah. I've seen some of Gypsy Rose's fans. And they all seem to have the same aura to them. Okay? I'm going to just leave it at that. They're young girls who may have lots of insecurities. They're young girls that may have lots of insecurities. That's all I'm going to say about the people that I've seen. You don't see any men out there for the most part. Right? It's just one type of person. There's different types of people. Don't get me wrong. There's different types of people, but I've seen on more than one occasion a niche. She has a niche, right? I think it was like 70-30 in the beginning and more like 30-70 now. Young gullible white girls. You can't bullshit black women like that. For the most part, you can't. In some cases you can. I think I did tell you guys this. One of these girls that I went to high school with, bro, I went to high school with her. We were actually friends. We were friends in high school. And we're still friends on Facebook to this day. We're friends on Facebook. And Gypsy, we're all in Louisiana. Let's just put it like that. We're all in Louisiana. I'm closer than I would like to be to Gypsy. Okay, let's just put it like that, right? So I go on Facebook one day and I see this girl that I went to high school with, and she's saying, I finally got my Christmas wish. I got to meet Gypsy Rose, and it's her, Gypsy, and some other person. And I'm like, excuse, I wasn't going to comment. I wasn't going to engage with it. My mouth just fell. I was like, we were friends. We went to driver's ed together. What do you mean your Christmas wish? Like, my mind, I was like, are you serious right now? I could probably go on her Facebook and still find it. I do not want to show you guys because I don't know who's watching where. But yeah. She got her Christmas wish. Right? Lindsay has met a family member of hers at work. Yo, there's a lot of Blanchards around. So, and you can't judge them. You know what I'm saying? You can't judge them. But you might just be like, oh, to yourself, like, oh, 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 oh. Right? Right? So, yep, that's what she said, y'all. She told me that, and I was like, what the fuck? Well, she didn't tell me. I saw it on Facebook. And I couldn't believe my eyes. I really couldn't. I was like, are you, like, why? Sorry, y'all. I don't know what the hell happened. My internet went out. I thought that. Thank you guys for sticking around. I thought that, like, I don't know. I thought I got booted off the internet. I swear I did. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So, that's so weird because I have a ton of clients from work that are from Louisiana and they don't know who she is. What part of Louisiana? What part? There's like North Louisiana, there's South Louisiana, and there's West Louisiana. She's from Southern Louisiana. Those people in North Louisiana are different people. The people in North Louisiana are different people. All over the state. I work for a gun accessories company. Okay. Maybe they're older. Because I feel like everyone our age knows who she is. If they're older, they might not know. My phone just died. Y'all, I was supposed to go live on. Can y'all give me a second, please? I'm gonna come back. Yeah. People from North Louisiana are country as hell. Hell. And racist too. My grandpa is from North Louisiana. They do shit different up there. They I've been up there in North Louisiana, like by Shreveport or Ruston. They're still stuck 20 years behind. They're still stuck 30 years behind. 40. They're stuck. They will forever be stuck, right? But let me see. Hold on. For Katrina, I went to Northern Louisiana, which took about 4 hours. Monroe, 5 hours. That's where we were when we evacuated for Katrina. Like 5 hours up. Didn't hit us at all. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. I want to get up and go get something to drink. But I gotta turn my camera off for a second. I only have shorts on. I don't have the most appropriate pants on. All right, I'm gonna play something for you guys while I go. Listen to this story again.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard would have us believe that dentists pulled her teeth out for no reason. She claims that she went to the dentist and her mother told them that she had pain in her teeth and they just pulled them out. Let's take a look at some of these pictures of Gypsy's teeth. In the most recent episode of Life After Lockup on Lifetime, you can see Gypsy with a baby bottle, and every parent knows that children who drink from a bottle past time when they're supposed to know that it impacts their mouth and how their teeth are growing. They also know that when you leave a baby to drink a bottle in their bed like overnight, that milk gets on their teeth and causes what is known as bottle rot. It actually takes off the enamel and causes the teeth to rot. So here you can see Gypsy holding her little bottle. I'm no expert on age, but I'm going to go with a conservative number and say that she looks like she's about 8 years old right here. 8 years old, still drinking out of a bottle. Yeah, that's gonna cause some teeth issues. Here's another one of the inside of her mouth, and you can clearly see that the top two teeth.
Okay. I just needed something to distract y'all with for a little bit. You have a brand deal with Duck Commander? Whew. I don't like it up there. I don't like it up there at all. I went to Lindsay, is Rain in Northern Louisiana? Where's Rain at? I don't know where Rain is, but I went to Rain with a friend once. And I was dumb when I was younger, right? Very, very, very dumb. Dumb college student. So I went to Rain when I was like 21 with a friend and her aunt and her boyfriend. And I didn't know what kind of town Rain was. I didn't know. I was the only black girl, and I didn't know. So we were going to different places. We were going to Walmart. I'm not seeing any other black people. I'm getting weird looks or whatever. So we left the Walmart or wherever we were that day, and he literally had this truck came up to us, and they like started shouting shit, and they had the little Confederate flags and everything. And the girl's boyfriend at the time was like cussing him out, like, get the fuck back, whatever the case may be. But it was kind of terrifying for a second because those people were angry with us and we didn't know why they were angry with us. I think I had something to do with it, but yeah. Yep. Louisiana Tech. Midwest. Yeah, Rain is bad. It's so beautiful though. Like, it's one of those places where there's no goddamn Wi-Fi. There's no goddamn nothing. It's like just fields and fields and fields. There's a house, and then there's the 3 miles, and then there's the next house. It's like one of those small towns, right? And when I met this friend, it's crazy because when I met her, she had a Confederate flag when I met her. And I just didn't understand. I didn't get it. To this day, I don't think she does that anymore. I don't think she believes in that anymore. Hopefully not. But the argument was it's a Southern thing. It's a heritage thing. That was the whole argument behind that flag. But when I explained to them that flag is no different than you having a swastika on your wall, that flag is no different in terms of the meaning behind it. Right? Yeah. LSU's bad with it. LSU's bad with it. But I feel like I'm such an easy person to get along with. I'm super easy to get along with, and I can easily make people see that the way they're thinking is irrational. So I feel like those college days were filled with a lot of that, with a lot of like, do you understand what you're saying? Do you understand that what you're saying is hurtful? Do you understand that what you're doing is hurtful? Do you understand that your children could be of a different ethnicity because you like that guy? Do you not understand? Right? So, into what says, yeah, it's whatever. It's whatever. Because when we were kids, when we were all kids, we didn't think that way. When we were all kids, we didn't think that way. When we were all kids, I wanted to play with him, her, and it doesn't matter how they looked. It didn't, until people put that in you. When people put it in you, then you will grow like that, and you will put that into your children as well. There's people on TikTok children crying because they were born when Joe Biden was president, and their brother or sister is going to be born when Trump is president. They're indoctrinating the children. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We're going back in time, and we shouldn't be doing that. Those are important things. Those are important things. I don't know if you guys protest, but there is a protest April 4th, I believe. It's all around the country. All around the country. The hands off protest. I'll show you guys that really quick. Lindsay Riley really wants to go, and I'm like, I take it as a cool art project. It's April 5th because you get to make these cool signs or whatnot. Here it is right here. April 5th. And apparently there's supposed to be tons of people marching on Washington, but it's in all kinds of different states. And if you go to hands off, just Google it. It'll tell you what they are mobilizing for. Right? It's a national demonstration against the current administration, all that good stuff. So it should be pretty interesting. I don't know. I still don't know if I'm going to go yet. You can't get off work? Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going because I'm definitely not going by myself. Hell no. Have I seen AOC and Bernie? Yeah, I've seen AOC and Bernie on tour. There was actually, I want to show you guys something. Hold on. There was like this presidential picker. Where is it? I don't even know where it is. It was like you could, like a final four with all the presidential candidates for 2028. AOC is looking good. She's looking good. She's young. She has to start now. Like if she wants to run for president, she has to start now. Now. Like she's already late. Let's see. Because apparently Donald Trump Jr. might run for president. JD Vance might run for president. All those people that are going to continue this agenda. I don't know where it is. It was like a final four chart where you could pick Democrats, you could pick Republicans, and you could narrow it down to who you wanted to see as president. I don't know if I can find it. But yeah, I don't know. This administration is quite something. It's quite something. In 4 years, I bet they won't make the wrong mistake. That's all I can say. In 4 years, there'll be a difference for sure. Yeah. Musk's super PAC offers $100 to Wisconsin's voters ahead of key state Supreme Court election. Musk's super PAC is offering Wisconsin voters $100 to sign a petition denouncing judges. $100? You want them to sell their soul for $100? I like your channel, but have no head out. Have to head out. Okay. All right, Vix. Whoa. Tulsi Gabbard? Tulsi Gabbard? Oh, okay. I mean, it's better than Trump, I guess. I can't find it. Damn it. I can't find it, y'all. I'm getting a backdrop from Temu, and it looks a lot like one of these up here. So why are these things showing up here? I don't know. That's kind of strange. You got to head out on me, Vic Star?
In a video dated May 8th.
Yeah. I honestly don't think people thought it would be this bad when they voted for Trump. They just didn't want a woke president, a black president. They didn't want to deal with that right now in their lifetime. So they're like, we're going to vote for Trump and keep this the way it's been. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, he's bribing people to vote. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? No one wants to do anything. They just want to. Random says that type of hate is not sustainable. No, it's not. And all the people from the VA that they're firing, all the people, they dismantled or tried to sign an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education today. They also believed him when he said he would lower cost of living, and he's not doing it. Oh yeah. If anything, the cost of living will get higher. It will get higher. Inflation is real. Inflation is not something that we dream about. It's real. So you have to manage the money more appropriately. You have to give people more money at their jobs. You have to make the minimum wage higher. You have to make corporations stop taking advantage of people. Like, you don't, like, what in Donald Trump's agenda, what in Project 2025 helps these people? Calling out trans people helps them? I don't know. Like, what, the 5 trans people that wanted to play sports that really hurt them and their soul and their pride, taking them out of the military, even though they make up about 5% of 1% of the military. I didn't say 1%. I said 5% of 1%. And there's this lady on TikTok, and she's like, I used to be MAGA, but now we have to stand up and we have to speak out. I'm like, lady, where the hell were you when we were saying this shit was going to happen? I don't know if I can find her on here. And the press secretary is a hot mess. Look at this. Look at this.
If anybody in here wants to argue that the federal government is not fraudulent in some capacity, be my guest, because I think the American people watching at home would beg to differ. Caroline. Mary.
Hey,
You are the federal government. You are the federal. What did she just say?
If anybody in here wants to argue that the federal government is not fraudulent in some capacity, be my guest, because I think the American people watching at home would beg to differ. Caroline. Democrats behaving like children would be the least surprising thing of the night. And unfortunately, that quote did turn out to be true. I think the president and everyone, frankly, was surprised by the Democrats refusing to stand for not the president's policies, because frankly, we expected that, but for the everyday Americans who President Trump was shining a light on their stories. Mark Fogel, for instance, an American school teacher who was detained by the Russians. President Trump freed him. If Joe Biden had done that, they all would have been on their feet. But because of it, what came from President Trump, they weren't. So we think it's very sad, but we're very proud of the president today. And the American people are the people that this president.
I mean, it's really come as quite a shock to me that there's this level of really hatred and violence from the left. I always thought the left, or the Democrats, were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring. And yet they're burning down cars, they're firebombing dealerships, they're
You thought the left was what? Just listen to this
really,
shit.
Hatred and violence from the left. I always thought the left, or Democrats, were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring. And yet
And then what are you the party of?
I'm sorry, have you ever paid a tariff? Because I have.
That's
They
it.
don't get charged on foreign companies. They get charged on the importers.
And ultimately, when we have fair and balanced trade, which the American people have not seen in decades, as I said at the beginning, revenues will stay here, wages will go up, and our country will be made wealthy again. And I think it's insulting that you're trying to test my knowledge of economics and the decisions that this president has made. I'm now regret giving a question to the Associated Press. Mary, go ahead.
I'm sorry, have you ever paid a tariff?
I love this guy.
We have some big news right now. It appears as though we're seeing the first cracks in the Republican caucus as a Republican member of Congress during a town hall in Utah called out the executive branch under Donald Trump, saying that if we don't get the executive branch under control, we are shifting our nation towards authoritarianism. Yes, I'm serious. The congresswoman at issue is Celeste Malloy. She represents a district in Utah, and she appeared at a town hall with constituents.
Utah. We have Utah standing up. Utah.
Constituents and talked about the executive branch's actions under the Trump administration. And she made clear that if we don't get the executive branch's actions under control, her direct quote is that we are shifting our nation closer towards authoritarianism. Now, that is tepid criticism, but it is criticism nonetheless. And it's really the first time we're seeing cracks within the House Republican caucus. Remember, this is the caucus that's going to be voting on potentially impeaching federal judges, and they can only afford to lose 1 or 2 votes, and you're seeing cracks emerge. I'll do a full breakdown of this.
Thank you all very much. I love Tesla.
Which one did you buy? Which car are you going to buy?
The one I like is that one. And I want that same color.
All right.
Thank you all very much. I love Tesla.
Which one did you buy? Which car are you going to buy?
The one I like is that one.
My grandparents said they feel like they are the only ones in their entire neighborhood who wasn't voting for him.
Recognize the gentlewoman from Texas, Ms. Crockett, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Mr. Talcove, I'm just going to go ahead and pick up where you left off really quickly. Just to be clear, the upgrades that you're talking about as it relates to our data processes, these aren't things that would be free, are they? They would cost some kind of money. Not looking for a number, but they will cost, correct?
Some are free and some would cost money.
Okay. All right. So I just want to leave it there because we've had a number of these hearings. So I do want to be clear, before the Trump administration came in, this committee did exist in the form of the Oversight Committee, and our task is to root out waste, fraud, and abuse. In that vein, we had a number of hearings, at least last term. I can't speak for any other term as I'm only in my sophomore term. And we dealt with improper payments. And interestingly enough, our chairwoman, who is so passionate about this today, she missed every single one of those improper payment hearings. But just to be clear, I was there. So I don't want anyone to believe that Democrats just come to work and don't plan to do work. In fact, I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is that the Republicans believe our job is, because right now they have relinquished their constitutional duties over to an unelected bureaucrat, someone who no one went out to vote for. And absolutely, he is occupying the Oval Office, as we saw yesterday. And that is a first for me to see someone occupying the Oval Office who's never actually been elected to the Oval Office and actually answering more questions than the person that allegedly got elected. But for whatever reason, this is the first time we're having a Doge subcommittee hearing, and that guy's not here. Instead, we have y'all. So I do want to thank you for coming. But I will say this. It's also interesting to me that in the first few days of Doge existing, we know that They are trying to get rid of the Department of Education, USAID, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They're laying off FAA workers. They are going after the FDA, the CDC, the HHS, the FBI agents, and they're talking about getting rid of FEMA. And they brought y'all in. And I am going to say that I actually was shocked that there was only one person that seemed like he was an overt Trumper as you laid out your opening remarks, because I anticipated that at least one of y'all would say, yes, what Elon is doing is exactly what we would prescribe. But instead, I will applaud you because you actually were focused. You talked about what the American people are looking for us to do. We've actually consistently on this side of the aisle promoted this idea of making investments into technology so that we can do things such as, say, look at the Department of Defense. The Department of Defense that takes up approximately 50% of our discretionary income or our discretionary spending. Approximately 50% goes to Department of Defense. Department of Defense has not been able to pass an audit in the last 6 audits, and we're not talking about pennies. I understand that we want everything to be perfect, and if we could get all waste, fraud, and abuse out, that would be fantastic. But let me talk about the big numbers. The big numbers are on that side. When we look at, say, our entire workforce, our federal workforce, as we're trying to somehow fire all of them, they don't even make up a total of 5%. It's even less than that when we look at our budget. But let's talk about defense. That just happens to be the same side of the ledger that Mr. Musk gets the vast majority of his money from. In fact, at the same time that they were unlawfully, and we will stay in court, because on this side, we believe in law and order. We believe in, a number of us are actually lawyers, but nevertheless, we understand the Constitution. We believe in that as well. And so there's things such as, impoundment, right? Because as Mr. Whitson said, he said, we need to return the power of the purse to Congress. It never left. According to the Constitution, that's where it's at. Now, I know that people are confused right now because for whatever reason, we had a guy that went in, and you talk about people invading our data. Listen, people said that they were upset about TikTok, but I'm upset about the guy that runs Twitter, who for sure is doing nefarious things, because I don't understand, if you are trying to conduct audits and figure out where the waste, fraud, and abuse is, I don't know why you would go to some tech guy. In fact, it was only techies that were sitting there at inauguration. We didn't have auditors. I would welcome auditors to come in and do forensic audits. In fact, he sat there in the Oval Office yesterday and he admitted that he was lying, and he was using his propaganda machine to do it when he said that we sent millions of dollars to Gaza for condoms. That was a lie. So let me tell you something.
The gentlelady's time has expired.
It's time for
the
us
gentlelady's
to do our
time has
job
expired.
and rein in this rogue actor known
The
as
gentlelady's
Elon
time
Musk.
has expired. I now recognize the gentleman from Missouri. Recognize the gentlewoman from Texas, Ms. Crockett, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Mr. Catal.
Into the weeds, there was a guy here in Missouri who ran for governor. His name was Chief Wannadoobie. That's my kind of politics. Hundreds of dollars for a bottle of ibuprofen, yeah, it's like that. It's like that. And the bottom line is, I think that people are trying to make, the point that people are trying to make is that Elon Musk is not qualified to do what he's doing. Just because he's a billionaire, just because he's the richest man in the world, does not make him qualified to do what he's doing. That's the biggest point. It's no one cleared this. Trump saying he's my top advisor, he's my senior advisor. No one cleared his actions in government. He can be your advisor. He can advise you all he wants. But he's making clear steps. He's doing disgusting things on social media, on X. He's mobilizing voters with misinformation. And that's huge. That's huge. It's huge. So That's how it is, guys. Sadly enough, that's how it is, and people are gonna just believe what they want to believe. If you go to X and look
Cheesecake.
at
Recognize the gentlewoman from
and look at Elon Musk on X, it's disgusting. For a lack of a better phrase, it's disgusting. Elon Musk's page, the things he says, disgusting. Basically telling people to impeach judges, that he's saving all of this money. He saved $1 billion. He saved $100 million. You know, all kinds of stuff. And people are reading this and they're taking it and they're running with it in their real lives. And they have no money and no power, right? No money, no power. They literally briefed Elon Musk on war codes with Russia and things of that nature today. Briefed him as if he's the president, right? He has 220 million people following him. Some people that follow him don't follow him, if you understand what I mean. But a lot of these people follow him and believe everything he says. So it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Now they're mobilizing against the judges. It's like anybody who goes against their agenda, they want to mobilize against them. Nobody confirmed him. If you're saving the world, then why not go in front of Congress and explain how? He can't. He cannot. He cannot answer one question from Congress. Not one. He can't. He can't. They can't produce any paperwork. They can't do any of that. And they really thought people were going to sit back and allow them to do it. That's the crazy part. Because people aren't allowing them to get away with it, those people are corrupt. Those people are lunatics. Those people are like, do we really see what's going on? People truly do take shit and run with it. And I mean that. They take shit and they run with it. Whatever they see. Oh, I believe that. There needs to be a massive push for Americans to learn basic civics. True that. Most people don't understand what the three branches of government do. And those are the same people that say, how can the judges tell the president what to do? They can't do that. Impeach him. They don't even know what the three branches of government are and what they do and how they check and balance each other. They don't know. That's why they voted the way they did. They don't have any clue. All of the MAGA around me have no idea who their representative is or what they're supposed to do. There you go. Some people's representatives aren't even answering. Their phones are off the hook. They don't want to hear it. Thanks everyone for supporting the channel. We're on the road to 3,000 subs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you subbed up during this live, I appreciate you so very much. Let me show you guys the YouTube channel, actually. Might as well do this. I'm going to be getting off in a second. I'm going to go on TikTok, but I need to let my phone get a little bit of charge. So maybe like 10:30. I'm going to be on TikTok for about an hour. Not too long, though. Listening to music, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. Okay, so my last couple of videos, I'm going to show you guys around the channel before I go. My last couple of videos, okay, you guys can't see that. Let me fix it. Okay, so my last couple of videos, the first one was have a good night into the weeds. Thank you for coming through, stopping by. The last couple of videos was on the Wayfair conspiracy. If you can go through and give all these videos a likes, I'd appreciate you. The Gypsy Rose episode 2 and episode 1 of Life After Lockup. Also, the disturbing crime scene photos of Ruby Frankie. Gypsy Rose has her own playlist, as you guys know. It is the top playlist on the channel. Jaguar shorts. Okay, yeah. Here are my shorts. They're more like celebrity things of that nature. They might be related to some of the videos. Shorts are cool. They're fun. They're awesome. Videos, we talked about those. Shorts, live streams, that's what we're doing now. I'm going live twice a week. Videos 3 times a week. That's where I'm at now. It might take me a little while to get like on task with everything, but as far as for now, look for 2 to 3 videos a week, 2 live streams a week, couple of shorts, like any and everything that you can. Okay, so we have, why do I have 5 videos in the Life After Lockup playlist? That's not right. I don't know. I have to fix that. Okay, so I have a Life After Lockup. These are all my playlists. Gypsy Rose's book, that one's really popular. Lori Vallow Daybell, we'll be looking at her trial. Ruby Frankie, Micah Miller, Menendez brothers, P. Diddy, all kinds of good cases revolving around true crime, conspiracy, scandal. Here we have the post, community posts. Okay. I put polls here. I put accomplishments here. I put pictures of myself here. I put all kinds of stuff here. So check out the post, community posts. We just hit 25K. Thank you so much. Not 25K, 2.5K. And I have a store here. I've been saying it for the longest, but I'm going in here and adding some cool stuff to my store. I just wanted to get it up and running, use all of the things that YouTube gives us. Is that everything? I think that's everything. I talked about Trump University. I talked about the government UFOs. Lots of good stuff. I even built my peacock one night. I do a lot of cool stuff. But for the most part, we revolve around scandal, conspiracy, true crime. We have a cult, Behind the Cult series coming soon. I'm hoping that one does well. And that's about everything. If you're not a part of the Discord, make sure to join it. I have an Instagram, a TikTok, and a Facebook. Make sure you're following all those. You can email me at lindsayunfiltered@gmail.com. And that's about it, guys. I'm going to get on TikTok once I charge my phone. I need to charge it up a little bit. And once I charge it, I'm going to come on TikTok. We're going to listen to some music, talk, joke, play around, all of that. It looks as if Sir Morbid is live. He's on with Hello Starlight. Looks like Becca Scoops. What the Bug. Actually, I follow her. I haven't seen like her. She hasn't been online. She hasn't been on lately. Yeah, she took like a month off. But her videos are pretty cool too. If you're looking for somebody else who talks about Gypsy Rose, What the Bug is one. Cool. She's up there with him now. Okay. What the heck? Oh. All right. And that's about it, guys. I'm going to go on TikTok. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. It was cool catching up with you guys. Bye now, guys.